Harvard researchers recently found that a staggering 87% of people with low confidence share 3 destructive mental habits that hold them back. The scary part? Most of us engage in them daily without even realizing the damage they inflict. Confidence isn't innate. It's built or broken by our daily thoughts and actions. These habits often hide as realism or humility, but they quietly sabotage our self-belief and potential. Today we'll expose these 3 habits, explain the science, and give you practical tools to break free. We'll tackle the inner critic, catastrophic thinking, and the comparison trap, each with a science-backed strategy you can use right away. Ready to reclaim your confidence and take control? Let's begin. Ever catch yourself thinking, "I always mess up"? Does that thought feel familiar, like an old unwelcome guest? That's your inner critic hard at work, constantly judging and evaluating your every move. It's that nagging voice that whispers doubts and amplifies insecurities. A mental habit that, unfortunately, rewires your brain for self-doubt, making it easier and easier to fall into negative thought patterns. This voice relentlessly magnifies flaws, blowing them out of proportion and making them seem insurmountable. It dismisses wins, downplaying your accomplishments and attributing them to luck or external factors, rather than your own abilities. And most insidiously, it convinces you you're not enough, not smart enough, not talented enough, not worthy enough. Harvard research, in fact, formally calls these automatic negative thoughts, ants. They've studied how prevalent and impactful these thoughts are. They're believable precisely because they're familiar. These thoughts have been running through your mind for so long that they feel like the truth. But, and this is crucial, they're rarely true. They're often based on distorted perceptions and unfounded fears. Let's consider Sarah, a remarkably talented designer with a portfolio bursting with creative and successful projects. One day, a dream client called, offering her the biggest opportunity of her career. But instead of excitement, her inner critic screamed, "You'll fail! You're a fraud! You're not good enough to handle this!" Paralyzed by fear, she froze, completely ignoring all her past successes and the positive feedback she'd received. This isn't just emotional, it's deeply neurological, rooted in the very structure and function of your brain. Each time you passively listen to your inner critic and accept its pronouncements as truth, you actively strengthen the neural pathways in your brain that are responsible for self-doubt and negative thinking. Over time, this repeated activation makes negativity your brain's default setting, the path of least resistance. Furthermore, chronic self-criticism triggers the release of stress hormones like cortisol, flooding your system and impacting your overall well-being. This constant state of stress clouds your thinking, impairs your decision-making abilities, and ultimately makes failure more likely. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy where your negative beliefs create the very outcomes you fear. But the good news is that you absolutely can rewire your brain and break free from this cycle. The concept of neuroplasticity means that your brain is not fixed. You can actively build new positive neural pathways that support self-compassion and confidence. Here's how you can start. Use the evidence challenge technique to actively combat those negative thoughts. The moment a negative thought hits, don't let it pass unchallenged. Instead, consciously write it down. Then, and this is key, list at least 3 concrete facts that directly contradict that negative thought. For example, let's say the negative thought is, "I always mess up presentations." A contradicting fact could be, "My boss specifically praised my last presentation, highlighting its clarity and impact." Another fact, "Several colleagues told me they learned something new and valuable from my presentation." And a third fact, "I successfully finished last quarter's talk without any major issues or setbacks." This exercise isn't about pretending you're perfect or ignoring areas where you can improve. It's about balancing the overwhelmingly negative narrative with objective truth and a more realistic perspective. To make this truly effective, repeat this exercise daily, making it a consistent part of your routine. Set at least 3 reminders on your phone to prompt you to catch and challenge those sneaky negative thoughts throughout the day. Each time you actively challenge a negative thought with evidence, you weaken the old, established neural pathway of self-doubt. Simultaneously, you build a new, stronger pathway for self-belief, fostering a more positive and empowering inner dialogue. The ultimate goal isn't to completely silence the inner critic forever. That's often unrealistic. Instead, the aim is to turn down its volume, to diminish its power, and to let your strengths and positive qualities speak louder. Just imagine for a moment what you'd be capable of doing, what you'd dare to try, if you truly stopped believing everything your inner critic tells you. What risks would you finally take? What bolder, more authentic version of yourself would emerge, free from the constraints of self-doubt? So start today. Challenge just one negative thought with concrete facts. With consistent practice and dedication, you'll gradually transform your inner dialogue, shifting it from a constant barrage of self-doubt and criticism to a source of self-support, encouragement, and unwavering belief in your own potential. The inner critic may always be there, lurking in the background, ready to pounce with its negativity. But with these tools, it doesn't have to drive your life, dictating your choices and limiting your potential. You're actively building a new habit, a powerful and transformative one of self-compassion, resilience, and unwavering confidence in your ability to navigate challenges and achieve your goals. The more you consistently practice this evidence-based challenge, the stronger your self-belief becomes, solidifying your foundation for success and fulfillment. Now let's move on to explore the next hidden habit that might be holding you back from reaching your full potential. Ever spiral from a small mistake? It starts innocently enough. Maybe you forget to respond to an email or you accidentally spill coffee on your desk. But then, your mind races, and you jump to imagining total disaster, a chain reaction of negative outcomes, each one worse than the last. That's catastrophic thinking, the habit of jumping to the worst-case scenario. It's like your brain is a fortune teller, but instead of predicting good things, it only sees doom and gloom. You send an email and worry a typo will ruin your career. One little slip-up and suddenly you're convinced your boss will fire you, and you'll end up jobless and alone. Your brain treats this as a real threat, triggering anxiety and stress. Your heart races, your palms sweat, and you feel a knot in your stomach. It's a full-blown emergency response to a situation that exists only in your head. Catastrophizing is a cognitive distortion that fuels anxiety and keeps you stuck. It's like being trapped in a mental quicksand. The more you struggle, the deeper you sink. Take Alex, a student. He's diligent, hardworking, and generally optimistic. He misses one practice question while studying for a major exam, and suddenly believes he'll fail the exam, the class, and his entire future. One missed question morphs into a complete academic meltdown in his mind. This emotional spiral feels real, but it's rarely logical. It's a runaway train of thought, fueled by fear and uncertainty. When you catastrophize, your brain's fear center takes over, shutting down rational thinking. The amygdala, the brain's alarm system, hijacks your thoughts and floods you with anxiety. The result? Exhaustion. From the constant mental gymnastics of worrying, avoidance of situations that trigger your catastrophic thoughts, and lost confidence. You start to doubt your abilities and avoid taking risks, fearing the worst possible outcome. But you can break the cycle with the probability test. This simple technique can help you regain control of your thoughts and challenge your catastrophic predictions. When you start to spiral, ask, what's the actual chance this will happen? Force yourself to consider the likelihood of your worst-case scenario coming true. For Alex, what's the chance one wrong answer ruins his career? Almost zero. It's far more likely that he'll learn from his mistake and perform well on the exam. Assigning numbers exposes the absurdity of the fear and brings you back to reality, and re-engages your logical brain. It helps you see the situation more objectively and rationally. To make this a habit, use the 10-10-10 rule, a powerful tool for gaining perspective. Will this matter in 10 minutes? Will anyone even remember it? 10 months? Will this have any significant impact on your life a year from now? 10 years? Will this even be a blip on your radar a decade down the line? Most worries fade with time and perspective. What seems like a crisis today will likely be forgotten tomorrow. This practice shrinks your fears to their real size, making them less overwhelming and more manageable, and frees up energy for what matters. You can redirect your focus to more productive and positive activities. Your mind loves dramatic stories, but you don't have to believe everyone. You have the power to choose which narratives you accept. Become the editor of your thoughts, the curator of your inner world. Question the plot, check the facts, and challenge the assumptions behind your catastrophic thoughts. And choose which stories deserve your attention. Not every thought deserves your focus. Most of your worries are just stories, not reality. They are products of your imagination, not reflections of the truth. Imagine the peace you'd feel if you stopped believing every what if. The freedom from constant worry and anxiety would be transformative. Practice the probability test and 10-10-10. Rule to reclaim your confidence and take control of your thoughts. You can break free from the prison of catastrophic thinking. It takes practice and awareness, but it's entirely possible. Let's tackle the final habit and equip you with the tools you need to build a more resilient and positive mindset. Have you ever found yourself scrolling through social media, seeing everyone else's highlight reels and wondering why your life doesn't measure up? Why does someone else's success make you feel behind? It's a common feeling, a pang of inadequacy that can creep in when we least expect it. Blame the comparison trap, a modern habit that hijacks your confidence and steals your joy. It's a subtle thief, preying on our insecurities and distorting our perception of reality. Social media bombards us with carefully curated highlight reels, showcasing only the best moments of people's lives. We see the vacations, the promotions, the perfect families, and the seemingly effortless achievements. This constant stream of idealized images makes it easy to measure our lives against others and feel inadequate. We start questioning our own choices, our own progress, and our own worth. This isn't just envy or simple jealousy, it's a brain-based pain response. It's a deeply ingrained reaction that affects us on a neurological level. Studies show social comparison activates the same brain regions as physical pain. That feeling of inadequacy is literally processed by your brain as a form of discomfort. Take Maya, a musician. She pours her heart and soul into her music, practicing for hours and honing her craft. She feels proud of her work, she's been making great progress, writing new songs and even booking some local gigs. But then, until she sees another artist's big win online, a record deal, a sold-out concert, or viral video, suddenly her own progress feels meaningless. All the hard work, the dedication, the small victories, they all seem insignificant in comparison. The comparison trap turns life into a race you can't win, a never-ending pursuit of an ever-shifting finish line. Because you're always measuring your behind-the-scenes, your struggles, your works in progress against someone else's best moments, their carefully constructed public image, it also hijacks your reward system, distorting your sense of accomplishment and satisfaction. Your sense of accomplishment depends on how you stack up against others, not on your own growth, your own effort, and your own unique journey. The antidote? Progress tracking. A simple yet powerful tool to reclaim your joy and rebuild your confidence. Make your own journey the benchmark. Focus on your own path, your own goals, and your own progress. Each day ask yourself, how am I better than yesterday? What did I learn? What did I overcome? How did I grow? Write down 3 small wins, celebrate the little victories that often go unnoticed. Personal, like finally finishing that book you started months ago or taking some time for self-care. Professional, such as completing a challenging project at work or receiving positive feedback from a client. Or even a mindset shift, like choosing to focus on gratitude instead of negativity, or overcoming a limiting belief. This rewires your brain to focus on growth, not lack, training your mind to recognize and appreciate your own progress. Over time, your daily wins journal becomes tangible proof of your resilience, your dedication, and your progress. On tough days, when the comparison trap starts to tighten its grip, revisit it to remind yourself how far you've come, and all that you have accomplished. Your worth isn't measured by others' achievements, but by your own effort, your own growth, and your own unique contributions to the world. You can admire others, celebrate their successes, and learn from their journeys without letting it diminish your own light or undermine your own confidence. Shift from comparison to appreciation. Let others inspire you, motivate you, and encourage you, not discourage you or make you feel inadequate. Imagine if your only competition was yesterday's you. How much could you grow? How much could you learn? How much could you achieve? Redirect your energy from comparison to self-improvement. Invest in yourself, cultivate your skills, and celebrate your unique path and progress. The more you track your wins, the more confident you become, the more you appreciate your own journey, and the more you reclaim your joy. You're not running someone else's race, you're building your own journey, creating your own path, and defining your own success. Start your daily wins journal tonight. Take a few minutes to reflect on your day and identify 3 things you're proud of. Escape the comparison trap, silence the inner critic, and reclaim your joy. Embrace your unique journey and celebrate your own progress. Now let's bring it all together and remember that your worth is not determined by external validation, but by your own internal compass. We've uncovered the 3 habits, the common pitfalls, that sabotage confidence, the inner critic, that voice of doubt, catastrophic thinking, those spiraling thoughts, and the comparison trap. Awareness is the crucial first step, but consistent action creates real lasting change. Use the evidence challenge, probability test, and progress tracking, your powerful tools for lasting self-belief. Confidence is built daily, brick by brick, by consciously choosing new thoughts and habits. Old patterns may resurface from time to time, but now, you have the power and the tools to challenge them. Start today. Catch just one negative thought, test just one worry, and celebrate even one small win. Your confidence transformation truly begins right now. Thanks so much for watching. Keep building your self-belief, one step at a time, each and every day.